Hey everyone, welcome back. Sunday night, the Master of Dungeons Twitch stream, live play, the keys from the Golden Vault. We are playing, of course, the fourth adventure tonight. If you'd had a chance to check out the previous three, you can check them out on our YouTube channel, which you can find below. But tonight we are playing Prisoner 13 Part 1. Each adventure is usually about 4 hours in run time, so we break them up into two parts where we'll play 3 hours tonight, and then we'll play 3 hours next Sunday evening. So we'll have the beginning of it tonight, and we'll have the conclusion next week. We do have a couple of our community members joining us tonight to play. We do have Ash and we have Ryan coming in to play with us for this adventure. For those of you that might not know, Prisoner 13 is the preview adventure that they released on D&D Beyond before the book came out. So some of you might have already checked it out or played it before, but we're going to have a little bit of fun with it tonight. And I'll go ahead and explain a little bit more about our sessions. But first, let's go ahead and introduce the characters. So why don't we go ahead and begin with Ryan, and you can tell us a little bit about Ethelinda.
All right, Ethelinda used to be a very popular young, beautiful dancer, but as she got older, she became less popular. So she tried running a dance studio for a while, but that is not working out. Now she's turned to a life of crime to pay the bills.
All right. Thank you for the description there. And then we have Ash, and Ash is playing Sky.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here at the table with all of you. Sky, for the most part, is a Battlemaster fighter. You can tell he's got two long swords on his back. He's been a bit of a merc for the most part. He served in the military for some time, fought in a good battle, got some awards. But at the end of the day, he just wants to make some money. You know, that's what his whole life is about. He won't sell out his friends, though. You know, he's at least got some honor.
All right, thank you, Sky. And Ethelinda is a genie warlock, correct?
Correct. Yeah, she made a deal with an entity to keep her youth.
Oh, very cool. All right. And then we have our regular cast of ne'er-do-wells. Stinkfoot, go ahead and remind our viewers about your character a little bit.
How's it going? I'm playing Stinkfoot, Alabaster Grasper. I am a deep gnome wizard from the Underdark. Left that grind life behind and wanted to hone my wizarding skills. And out here in the greater world, trying to just make a difference, make things a little more gooder.
All right, thanks, Stinkfoot. And we have Snaps McCracken.
Yes, Snaps McCracken. He is also from the Underdark, Underdeep, and he is a thief rogue, accompanying Stinkfoot up out of the depths. He decided to try his fortune on the surface world. He actually robbed somebody to get out of poverty, but now he's wanted for it somewhere. So he's kind of looking over his shoulder every now and then, but asking questions along the way. He's very inquisitive.
All right, thank you, Snaps. Then we have Reginald.
Hey folks, I'll be playing Reginald, the Harengon Swarmkeeper Ranger, with their gaggle of raccoons. They spent a good bit of time falsely imprisoned, broke out of jail with some help, and is now trying to navigate what that means working with this new benefactor.
All right, thank you very much, Reginald. And the benefactor, basically the party is working for an organization, a secret organization known as the Golden Vault. The Golden Vault is based somewhere in the outer planes, in the upper planes, with good aligned groups. They basically do what people can't do lawfully and legally. For example, if someone is wronged and the local law enforcement cannot take care of it, the Golden Vault finds members of their group to go out and do what they can to aid those in need. Specifically, this group is working out of Waterdeep, where we set most of our adventures from the Golden Vault. They can be set in different locations. We're doing most of them out of Waterdeep. And the Golden Vault's number one thing is to do good no matter the cost. So everyone is basically working, and they get paid fairly well for it as well. But the group currently, Snaps, Stinkfoot, and Reginald have a manor house, the Troll Skull Manor, located in Troll Skull Alley, and bring the players over to our map. If I can get my Roll20 to work here already. I have to refresh my page. That doesn't bode well for my monsters this evening, does it?
Oh. Hopefully the dice will roll in our favor.
There you
After all.
go. We'll bring everyone over to the map, our wonderful large map of Waterdeep. And our characters are located over here in Troll Skull Alley for everyone. And today begins like a normal day. Of course, you're at there's the tavern below where you stay, known as the Lift Spirits, known for the ghost that inhabits it. The owner, one Braden Hawks is the owner, and he kind of is he's not really a member of the Golden Vault, but he does, he's basically a friend to the Golden Vault, so that your handler, if she ever needs to come speak with you, can always find you there. And of course, you're joined by your new companions, two other agents, Ethelinda and Sky, working with you as well. And coming down, of course, your meals are taken care of by Braden and the Golden Vault as well. And as you come down, you do notice the figure of Liff kind of becomes a little corporeal, sweeping behind the bar, and he gestures over to Snaps and kind of gestures over to a small little shelf that he has behind the bar there, and continues back to his work.
What do we have here? I just kind of casually walk around and try to take a closer look.
Stepping back there, you do see that there is a small little wooden box, fairly familiar looking, very similar to some of your other deliveries in the past. And glancing inside, you find a golden key.
Oh.
Anyone see that handout?
I do see that, yes. Interesting. Well, I'll put that in my pocket, sleight of hand style, and go back over with my friends. And looky here, look what I've got.
And for those that are interested, the way that the characters get their missions from the Golden Vault is they have a magic music box. And whenever they get a new mission, they receive a different key every time. So they've received their key. Very
Shall we go
interesting.
upstairs?
Go ahead.
Shall we
Another
go
key.
and unlock our box? I think we're keeping it upstairs in our room.
We'll look at the key, Ethelinda. You do notice that it's got some Deathic runes, some dwarven runes around the outside of it.
All right, should we retire somewhere else and take a look at what we got this time?
Sounds like a
Yeah.
good plan.
Want to make your way up to the attic area where you do a lot of your planning. Of course, when you get up there, you see your large planning table, the maps of Waterdeep all around. You have different places to plot your heists and such. But getting up there, you pull out the music box, and after you insert the key, the lid pops open. And again, the same soothing voice says, "Greetings, operatives. We've discovered the location of a great dwarven treasure. But only a prisoner incarcerated within the prison of Revel's End knows how to access the vault. This quest, should you choose to undertake it, requires you to travel to the prison, infiltrate it, and learn how to access the treasure from the prisoner. Return this information to the dwarf known as Varrin Axebreaker. He will brief you on the details of the mission, meet him at the Gentle Rest Inn in the Trades Wards. Good luck, operatives. Then the music box closes itself and the golden key vanishes.
Sounds like
Oh,
a fun little entrance.
it sounds
Breaking
terrible. Going back to a prison. No.
But we won't be arrested. That's the best part. We get to break in to the prison.
I'm not
Sure,
going
buddy.
back.
I like your train of thought there. I at first I didn't know what to make, but breaking in and not having to get out.
Exactly.
Aha.
We've already found our way in. Then, once we're there, get the prisoner, get the info. Hey, easy in, easy out. Nobody gets arrested. We're fine. Nobody would expect us to break into a prison. Who would do that?
Yeah, most people usually want to jump on Aerococras and break out, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can let you know that the Gentle Rest Inn is located on the high road in the Trades Ward, right around Spoils Alley there. Actually, on the high road itself. If anyone is from, I believe most of you are familiar with Waterdeep, feel free to give me a history check to get a little information about the Gentle Rest.
Sure.
Yes, it's not the
Real
yawning
quick,
portal.
can you repeat the name of the person we're meeting with?
Oh, yes, my apologies. That is Varrin. Let me pull that up and I'll put it actually into your chat for you.
Oh, you're the best.
And then Mr.
Just
DM.
for the notes.
Varrin Axebreaker is his name. And I'll drop that right into our Roll20 chat.
Oh, wow. I got their name right. Haha.
Would you allow me to use tactical assessment on this roll?
Sure.
Outstanding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at with your knowledge of Waterdeep, I should say, Gentle Rest is actually an inn located just on the central section of Waterdeep's Trade Ward on the high road, right near Spoils Alley. You do know that it is a fairly expensive inn, especially for the Trade Ward. Stands about 5 stories tall, which is fairly large for an inn. Obviously, being a little bit more expensive, and it does have a 2-story set of stables that's connected to it as well. With the 19 on your history check, you can also recall at one time it was owned by someone named Torst, who used to sell stolen horses and such outside, out of his stables, and like harnesses and things like that. He would sell out of the stables, but that was easily a century ago. Whoever owns it now, you're not really sure. Perhaps maybe one of their descendants.
Okay. Either way, I share that information with the party.
Okay. Being a warrior, also, Sky, with that 17 on your check, you do know that there are a couple of really nice locations, shops, and businesses in the area too. You know that there's Riotar's Weaponry. It's on the high road. It does sell mostly secondhand weapons, but they do have very, very fine bows there as well. And there's also the Riven Shield Shop, which also deals with secondhand arms and armor as well.
You know, thinking about it, there are 2 locations that might be of interest for us. Might be worth checking in.
Do tell.
Arms dealers of sorts.
Yes.
I think for those with any sort of religious pursuits or interests, you do know that the area, there's an area in the Trade Ward that was destroyed during the Spell Plague, but it's called the Plinth, which was an All Faiths temple as well in the Trade Ward. And there's been rumors that they're going to be rebuilding it.
Interesting.
And for those watching, also, we are playing with what's called Adventurers League rules. That is the organized play for Dungeons and Dragons. And basically, what it is rules as written. Basically, our DM like homebrew rules or home rules that we would have are just basically the Adventurers League rules. So in the Adventurers League, you do have a shared campaign. So I'll go ahead and make sure everyone can see that as well. If you have any coins you want to spend, you are heading to the trades ward. So there are plenty of places where you can pick up some of these potions, and if you want to pick up some of your spells as well. I know that Stinkfoot, your companion Reginald, does have a spell book that if you want, you can find some spots here in the trades ward to pick up any materials that you might need for copying spells over and such.
Yep, I would have handed that over to Stinkfoot once they got back. That
Welcome in,
was
Sergeant.
the student's spellbook, right?
Yes. And unfortunately, because it is Adventurers League, we can't actually give it to Stinkfoot, but Stinkfoot can definitely use it to copy. And they did actually do away with the rules of both the owner and the copier having to spend downtime days. So only the copier has to spend downtime days now, which is nice. So if you want also anything that's available in the player's handbook, if there's anything else you want to get, you do know that it's going to be, you can also, if you want, go through and maybe even do a little bit of research about Revel's End, if you want to.
Oh, I definitely want to do that.
I would like to do that. Yes. Where is it located, and what's it?
Yeah, you can
surrounding
go as you're kind of making your way down to the trades ward. Go ahead and give me another history check for everyone, and if we don't do very well, we can always stop by a library or something along the way, as there's plenty of libraries all throughout Waterdeep.
I thought hard
Oh,
enough
awesome.
remembering the horse thief.
Stinkfoot and Sky. You do know that Revel's End is located in the far north of Icewind Dale, near the Sea of Moving Ice. It is an institution that is ran by the Lord's Alliance, and they keep some of the most infamous criminals are imprisoned in that prison. Of course, for those of you watching, that is also featured in the new D&D Honor Among Thieves film.
Jeez.
So if you
Wow.
want to purchase anything, knowing that you're going to go to the frozen north, you probably want to pick up some cold weather gear,
Yes.
which is 4 gold pieces. Double check the opinion. We have Icewind Dale in here.
Ethelinda will also pick up a disguise kit.
Okay.
And a potion of greater healing.
Excellent. Those are available. As you enter to the trade ward and start looking about for these things, you do happen to notice that becomes very, very strong sense of smells of livestock and such like that, knowing that this area is generally where a place known as the caravan court, where many caravans muster or disband or muster in this area. There's also the Court of the White Bull, which is where they do a lot of livestock trading. And you can smell the livestock as you enter into the trades ward. And you also know, especially Sky being a fighter, you are aware of the Virgin Square, which is a mustering place for mercenaries that are looking for work in the area.
If we might need any hands, I think I could find a person or two that might be willing to help us out. If you have a boat that needs to be manned by any chance.
Perhaps.
Well,
Don't have a
worst
boat.
case, we can always see what our contact has for us and fill in any gaps as we need.
Okay, so
If
you ready? You've gone through and made your purchases. Does anyone else want to purchase anything from Player's Handbook or from the shared campaigns list?
I think
Yes. Go ahead, Otter.
I think I still have my potion of vitality and a healing potion from previous, so I'm gonna hold on to that. I should be good otherwise.
Okay.
Yes. Snaps would like to purchase several things.
Okay.
He's going to get the cold weather gear, of course, and
Mhm.
also climbing gear and crampons.
I believe the climber's kit is 25 gold, and
25?
crampons are, I believe, 2 gold for a pair.
Okay.
I believe it's also 2 gold for a pair of snowshoes as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
And
those
snowshoes.
Is
And
that
also a
My
potion
apologies.
of
Cold weather clothing is 10 gold. My apologies.
10 gold.
10
Okay.
gold?
Okay. And I was going to get a potion of water breathing.
Okay.
How much of the water
Keep
breathing?
in mind, if you purchase any of those during the
100.
session, they don't count against your consumable maximum, which I believe right now is 5 consumables in tier 1. So if you purchase anything else during the session, that doesn't count towards your consumable maximum, but they will afterwards if they're not used during the adventure. So you'll have to add those, of course, to your magic item hoard.
Okay.
Yeah, I should probably also pick up cold weather gear in that. You said for the gear and the snowshoes was 12?
12 total, yeah.
Okay.
The snowshoes will help you move because lots of different areas of Icewind Dale are covered in snow, which will mean it'll make it difficult terrain. But with the snowshoes, you can walk across the snow at normal pace. The crampons just are make it to where you're not knocked prone while you're on ice and things like that.
I'm
Ethelinda
gonna
will
get
buy the snowshoes as well.
Okay.
awesome. I'm gonna get greater healing potion also.
Okay.
And
Got some
thank you.
dosh.
And for our viewers tonight, we are going to be discussing our Twitch currency tomorrow evening. So hopefully we'll have some things for you to be able to aid the adventurers with, or perhaps hinder the monsters in future episodes.
Random
how
slime.
Pardon?
Random slime.
So having made your purchases, the trade ward wandered about a little bit, discussing different options. You're finally able to make your way to the Gentle Rest, which you do notice that, as I mentioned earlier, it is a rather tall building, about 5 stories, fairly opulent decorations. As you enter in, you do notice that there's actually a desk with a counter for people to check in. You do also see that there are a lot of what appear to be message boxes and such behind the counter with a what appears to be a half-elven male behind the counter. Then you also hear a little bit of noise coming from an archway off to the side where you can look through and see that there's like a common room with a very fairly nice bar set up in there. You also notice that there is a dining room off to another side as well for people who want to dine privately without, or not privately, dine without being in a rowdy common room tavern, as it were.
Sure. Before we head into the building, I'm just gonna kind of tip my hat and change my clothes to be a little bit more presentable, take on a humanoid appearance, so that it kind of hides all of the raccoons hanging on my person as I walk into this establishment.
Yes, you can definitely tell you look different, but the little bit of that animal smell is probably not going to give you away, as it does. It is kind of fragrant around the trades ward, but you do see the half elf look up from behind the counter as you enter in, and kind of gives you a bit of a surprised look. It's like, oh, adventurers, I see. What can I do for you?
We're here to check the tapestries. We just wanted to make sure that the tapestries are all in order. Could you direct me to where you're hanging them?
The guild's already been here before.
Oh. Well, this is a mess. I don't know what we're going to do. What shall we do? I think we're ordered to do this. We've got to inspect something. Do you have any refreshments to drink?
Yes, the common room is open there. He points right across the entryway where you're at as you come into the inn.
Okay, well, follow me. Let's go get a beverage while we contemplate our next move. No tapestries? Might as well have a drink.
I do have a question for you.
Excuse
man,
me, yes.
I'd say a dwarf came in. He asked me if my great grandfather Torst was still alive, but of course he's long since passed. But he said his name was Axebreaker. He was expecting guests, adventurers. Might that be you?
On the nose. That's it. Glad you spoke up. No tapestries needed then.
I believe he is waiting there in the common room. You can head on in there if you wish.
Thank you. Shall we, gents?
And they nod to you and kind of go back to working on a little bit of paperwork they have behind the counter. Entering into the common room, you can see it's about, you got your message first thing in the morning, so you spent a few hours about mid-morning in the trades ward going around picking up your items and making your purchases, and it is around midday meal. And there are a few people in the tavern part of the inn itself, maybe a half dozen people there. And you do notice that there's a little bit more not noise, but more people, more patrons in the private, or not the private, in the dining hall that's away from the tavern. You see a few more people, like I said, here at the tavern drinking. And looking over the corner, you do happen to see a dwarf sitting at a table with a few benches on the two benches on either side, and a couple of chairs at the end. They've got their hair's black with streaks of gray in it. Braided back, as is his long black beard braided as well. Seems to be wearing a loose, comfortable robe over a steel breastplate. And he seems to be sipping on a pint of something, and seems to be eating some sort of mutton, perhaps, maybe, and some boiled potatoes and things like that.
That's our man, I'm sure of it. Let's go.
I agree.
Okay.
Let's go.
Make your way over to the table. You see the braided-haired dwarf kind of look up at you and says, yes?
Are you Axebreaker?
Yes, that I am. That I am. Please, have a seat.
I'll take a seat.
And he kind of motions over to the server. The server comes over and takes everyone's drink orders. And if you'd like any lunch, and Varrin says, feel free to eat. Everything is on me.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll have the
yes.
exact same thing he's having.
Excellent. And the server's like, okay, yes. Dwarven fire ale? Is that what you'd like to drink as well?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
We do have some bitters. We do have a stout. We did just get a fine cider in, as well as a brand new delivery of honey meat from
No.
Icewind Dale.
They're all getting the fire wine. Yeah. Nope. That's good.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey.
For many, we do have some rye biscuits with some curd cheese. We do have some smoked pork and leek. We do have a bit of vegetable stew and some wheat porridge with a bit of mushroom.
Bring me a plate of your finest meats and cheeses.
And you see the server look around and takes everyone's orders. and heads out back to put the orders in. And Varrin kind of looks around. It's like, yes. Well, thank you all for coming and hearing me out. My name is Varrin Axebreaker. I have a proposition for you. He kind of looks about a little bit and kind of stands up and kind of pulls some of the drapes around the table to give a little bit more privacy. He says, my clan has located wealth stolen from us many years ago. Unfortunately, it's sealed in a vault that's magically locked. If you can recover the key, whatever it is, you'll gain the undying gratitude of Clan Axebreaker. And of course, I'll cut you in for a percentage of the recovered treasure.
Interesting. So you just want us to find a key?
Sounds.
Yes, that is very true, but there is a small catch. The person who knows how to open the vault is rotting away in the prison of Revel's End. She proved uncooperative with my people in the past, but I recently discovered the vault where she hid what she stole from us. I need you to question her and learn how to open the vault. How you do that is up to you. If you need to spring her from the prison in exchange for this information, please do so. I can provide you with a way in, as well as a layout of the Revel's End itself, and perhaps maybe a few other useful tricks. Are you still interested?
Oh, I'm interested.
He grabs his mug of
I'm all
ale.
ears.
So this isn't a physical key that the prisoner has on them?
I do not know.
Some sort
Unfortunately.
of mechanism or spell, perhaps. Who knows? We just need to find the means of getting in.
Yes.
So let's hear it. What's your way in you've got for us?
And he actually reaches into his pocket and pulls out a faceted sapphire, about the size of about a small orange or tangerine. Kind of places it on the table, and he waves his hand over the gem, and a glowing blue image of a building floor plan appears in the air above it. He taps the gem, and the image vanishes. And the sapphire splits into sections, and he passes one fragment to each of you. Do you take the fragments?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
As you take the fragments, they grow warm in your hand. They seem to melt and vanish, leaving a warm, tingling sensation behind. Think about the map of Revel's End, Varrin says, and you'll be able to see it.
This guy closes his eyes and kind of focuses.
Same
I
thing.
can see Ethellinda concentrating really hard on the screen. So here is what you see when you think about Revel's End.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Okay.
The gem's magic will last at least until you reach Revel's End, and then will vanish 5 days after. Once you reach the prison, you will have 5 days in order to retrieve the information we seek.
Five days.
And you said you had some sort of way in?
Yes, we can discuss that. But real quick, mechanically, what you can do is you can cause the magical image of the map to appear in the air before you, as long as you aren't incapacitated. And it's
Would I be
not
able to-
visible to others while you're viewing it.
Okay. Would I be able to recreate it with calligrapher's supplies if I wanted to?
You definitely could, yeah.
Okay.
He says, now, what we're going to have to do is figure out how to get you in. But first, let's explain each one of these features that you might be able to see on the maps themselves. The cells, of course, are highlighted in red, And Otter, if you want to maybe pull that up so that our viewers could check out the cool little map, that'd be awesome. And goes on to explain the cells highlighted in red are blanketed by permanent anti-magic. We do know that Prisoner 13's cell is right there, and points to the writing on the map that you can see in the air in front of you. All of the doors and hatches are sealed with arcane locks, spells that only prison staff can bypass. However, while you are within 100 feet of Revel's End, the map will allow you to use an action to touch the image of a door or hatch and suppress the lock on that portal. The lock will remain suppressed for 1 minute or until another lock is suppressed. Of course, once you suppress a lock, the image will turn from red to green, allowing you to remind you that that lock or hatch has been suppressed. I can also tell you the yellow markings on the map itself are the regular patrol routes that the guards take. Usual patrol rotation is once every 20 minutes. And obviously, of course, if the guards are suspicious, patrols will likely become more frequent.
Are they generally counterclockwise or clockwise?
That we're not sure of. I would assume clockwise, but what do I know? I'm an old dwarf. Now, as you mentioned, you asked perhaps how we might get you in, yes?
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, I can say that I have spent the last of my personal fortune gathering this information. And I do know that prison staff rotate out periodically. I do know the schedule of the next rotation. I have my agents standing by to capture a number of guards and cooks, so that, if you wish, you can take their place and enter into the prison.
Oh.
Enter in as a prison guard. That might be very good idea, actually.
Oh. It's a great disguise, I would think.
We should perhaps take advantage of this and spread out. Maybe one or two of us work in the kitchen, one or two of us work as guards.
Cover more ground.
Yeah, the kitchen and the mess hall seem to be not ideally close to this cell, but
If we could find somebody potentially as get like one of the doctors or the medics or something. The hospital's right there.
Mm-hmm.
That would be possible, perhaps. I can, if someone wishes to enter in under the guise of a barber, that would be fine.
I could be a barber.
Well, yes, barbers also tend to normal medical stuff sometimes in the medieval era back then.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
That's as long as I don't have to pull any teeth.
I'm just
That's
picturing
my
like
favorite
3
part.
step stools to get to someone's hair.
Yes, accommodations should be made.
Yeah,
I don't know. You gave me my last haircut. I don't know if I'll buy it.
Oh, I have been practicing. Just look at the back of your head.
This was free. It was free. I got what I paid for.
And I do believe one of you had mentioned something about the key, and they kind of looks to Madame Ethelinda. Was it you, my lady?
It was. I was wondering if it's a physical key, because I doubt they would allow the prisoner to have it on them.
My thoughts as well. I know that Prisoner 13 must have the vault key, or at least know where it is. But every magical method that my clan has tried to locate, the key has failed. I presume myself that Prisoner 13 would give up the key only in exchange for freedom. But of course, if you can find the key or convince her to give it up any other way, I'm sure it'll work just as well. We've tried many times to arrange her release, but the Absolution Council at Revel's End seems to deny the request every time. Gold's Alliance.
You
Could
know,
you tell us
actually-
a little bit more about her? This prisoner?
Yes.
What is she? What does she look like? Who is she?
Well, she one time was a trusted agent of Clan Axebreaker until she betrayed the clan and stole our fortune. And everyone give me an insight check, please.
I'll throw
Also,
another tactical
for
assessment on this.
Ethelinda and Sky, if you want, also you can go up into your collections, which is in the top right corner of your Roll20 screen. It looks like 3 little rows and with dots, bullet points by them. You click on those, and there should be some macros in there that you can access as well for ability checks, initiative, changing dice, saving throws, skill checks, things like that. You do have to have your tokens out for that. So since we are on this map, I want to go ahead down here by the trades boards and pull everyone's tokens out if you want to. Go ahead and pull. Actually, you can pull them out yourself from your journal. Just pull them out and place them down here. That way, if you need to access it while we're on this map, you can do so.
A member of the clan. She was.
Yes, you notice specifically Snaps and Stinkfoot, and with the 16 Sky, you do as well. Your DC was a 15. He looks a little hesitant to actually reveal the name of Prisoner 13. You can definitely also see that he is still hurt and a little anxious after being betrayed by this prisoner.
I will go ahead and take that opportunity as I notice his discomfort. I'll say, these dwarven spirits have went to my head, but I hate to be so blunt, but would you tell me this person of disrepute's name? I hate to bother you, but what shall we call her? As we may have to speak with her, at least in length, to find out about the key.
True, having a name would provide a little bit more leverage.
He kind of looks a little hesitant, but go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
I'll give you my. Oh, whoops, never mind.
Oh, thank you. Too quick. I would appreciate that, but
Yeah.
Give you what?
I was gonna give him my inspiration, but he clicked the button.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. So yes, he kind of looks around a little bit, and you can see his cheeks starting to get a little ruddy, and he does kind of look down in his mug as well, and you see the server come back over with the pitcher of the fire ale and fills up anyone's cups, and he's like, well, her name is Corda Glintstone, but I must stress, you should not reveal that you know her name.
Guards know her name, or did they just call her
Yes,
prisoner?
no one in the prison except perhaps maybe the warden knows Prisoner 13 by her real name. So
Okay.
using it probably just raised suspicion.
understood. Would
I
it
have
be
a
appropriate
question.
to let her know that we know her name?
That is up to you. That might get you more information. Perhaps might be valuable if she knows someone calls her by her name and not just by her number.
Okay.
Of course, all of the prisoners in Revel's
yes,
End are assigned a number as to not show any favoritism or anything of that nature. Of course, if someone hears someone else's name, it might cause a riot in the prison. So everyone's assigned a number and everyone's called by that number. Yes. The Heron Gone had a question?
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry, whatever you're disguised as. My apologies.
At the moment, it's just kind of human.
And kind of looks at you. Yes, your question.
You have a way for us to get in. Do you have a way for us to get out?
Yes.
Good question.
You will have a small ship within sight of the prison, but at a safe distance. When you are ready to leave the prison with either the information, the key, or the prisoner itself, you can shine a light from the dock at dock, and the ship will come to pick you up.
Better make sure we don't have any heat on us then. If we need to signal that boat and have any amount of time between the time they get there and if we get got, it might not be good.
Mhm. Good
That's
point.
true.
Knowing
Now, I
we have
can
an exit
say-
strategy is good.
Oh, yes, definitely. Now, I can say that visitors can request meetings with prisoners, but those meetings are always supervised by the warden. If you want to talk to Prisoner 13, your best bet, I would guess, is to try when she's not in her cell. And hopefully, out of sight of the guards. There are situations where prisoners do chores, such as emptying latrine buckets, breaking the ice in some of them, cleaning up after meals. And they do exercise in the courtyard daily. Of course, when prisoners are ill or injured, they're taken to the prison hospital.
For a haircut and to remove teeth.
Perhaps.
Say one of the barbers wanted to schedule a physical with one of the prisoners. Would that be allotted by a guard?
Perhaps. My information that I've gathered would not give me that information. I'm sure that there are other healers and such in the hospital as well. So if any of you have that sort of skill, perhaps we might have you enter in under the guise of one of the healers, if you want.
Not that skilled, unfortunately.
Me neither. What do you know about the warden?
The warden. Well, I believe the warden. What was her name? And he, kind of strokes his braided beard for a few moments. It's like, I believe the warden's name, Marta or Thanos, I believe. Yes, Marta Morthanis.
Okay.
From what I understand, she is very calm and unflappable warden of Revel's End.
What's she look
It
like?
would be well to know that she is she is known by a red robe with gold trim. And that she is some sort of mage, I believe.
Okay. All right. Wow.
And she is a member of the Lord's Alliance as well, I believe. I think. Oh, she might not be, if I recall. I know that the Absolution Council does meet, and if there are any ties of their full members, that the warden is the one that breaks all ties. So I believe she might actually not be a member of the Lord's Alliance for the purposes of being unbiased as much as possible.
I prefer not to meet her.
I think if anyone we don't want to meet, it's the warden. she probably knows the majority of her staff by face and name.
Yes.
Fairly possible, yes.
Definitely won't be giving her a haircut.
Now, of course, uh, uh, I'm sure that you're interested in discussing your payment. Yes?
Yeah, this is a lot of effort.
But of course, yes.
Well, the treasure itself is locked in a vault deep beneath the dwarf stronghold of Gauntgrim. And I can promise you all 2% of whatever treasure we recover if you make it possible for me to open the vaults.
And if we're unable to receive any information that's actually useful to you, are we gonna get anything worth our time?
Well, as I've mentioned, my apologies, but I cannot pay you. I spent almost all of my own personal fortune on getting all of this information, getting the magics for the maps, things of that nature.
Seems like we better follow through with the mission then.
Oh, yes. Quite the gamble here.
He does, of course, mention that 2% for your group. That might also include if there's any sort of magical treasure in the vaults as well.
Ah, very nice.
Well,
Okay.
2%. It's pretty good.
Well, we're here. If we want to discuss the idea of being employees, do any of us have preference of where that ends up being if we can make it work?
I have
Well,
a
I was-
preference to be a cook.
Go ahead. He's a cook. Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'd make a pretty good guard, but I think the barber idea would be fairly decent if I could pull off some medical skills. I've got
Do
a,
we have
you know,
anyone with medical
healer's
skills?
I've got a healer's kit, and that's about it.
I just barely have a little bit of skill for medicine, just a 1. I'm not actually proficient in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd fake it. I would have to be faking it.
I'm
yeah.
not proficient, but I do have a 3.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
I'll
Better
take
than
it.
I
I have a -1. I'll do it.
Did you say I have a -1? I'll do it.
He's
I like that plan.
true to form, Stinkfoot, throwing caution to the wind, as he does.
Gotta live life to the fullest, right?
I'd
Roll them
say
dice.
I don't mind going the barber route if I may have the most medical knowledge? Question mark.
Sounds good to
That
me.
is that is if you want to take that path. None of you has to be going to the hospital if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, the idea is if we get one of us to pose as a guard, or at least 2 of us, and one as the barber or a medicine man or whatever, we go and escort said prisoner to a physical. That gets the one person at least some alone time with her to potentially get some information. You know, if we're the guards going to recover her for this, you know, there's nobody that we really need to lie to unless we come across somebody.
That's a possibility.
Well, it might not be so complicated. We were told they do get to exercise in the courtyard. Who brings them there?
I think they just open the cells and let them out, right? I don't know.
But they probably
tend
would
to
have a
avoid
guard or
jail.
so.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be escorted.
True.
Yeah. At least guards in the hallway or in the field, so to speak.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we
What's
can-
it like, Reginald? What's it like in the slammer?
It's not fun. It's lot of manual labor and a lot of quiet time.
A lot of breaking rocks, huh?
And breaking ice up in Icewind Dale from right. But
Oh,
Varrin actually looks to you, Sky, and he kind of seems a little irritated a bit, but he says, as I mentioned, I can't afford to pay you if you don't find the information, but I'm sure that the warden likely has some funds hidden in her office or quarters. If you're so inclined to seek such things out.
Compensation might be worth it, even if it's not from your pocket. Yeah, if I come across it, why not? Thanks.
If anyone wants to try to increase the percentage, you can give me a little bit of a spiel and then attempt a charisma persuasion check if you want.
anybody
Not
know?
Reginald.
I'm not good at it, but I'd like to. If anybody else has charisma, if not, then I'll just try to line my way through it.
Warlock with you.
I have the charisma if you want to help somehow.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you some assistance. Okay.
Good plan.
So Sky would kind of sit there and ponder for a second. And he says, like I said, this is just a lot of effort. We're breaking into a jail, and it takes them 2 seconds to throw you in jail when you're already there. So we might not be getting paid. Sure, I'll get a little bit if I decide to steal it, but maybe if you could squeeze out maybe a 3, maybe 2.5, 3%. Just a little bit more. There's like 5 of us here.
Well, while this conversation's happening, can I, under the table, send a raccoon over to just kind of give them a pat on the knee and bestow some guidance?
Sure, you can do that to Ethelinda. And Ethelinda, go ahead. Since Sky just gave you some assistance with the help action, go ahead and give me a little bit of your spiel, and then you can make your persuasion check with advantage. Ooh, nice, 3.
Yes, I agree with my colleagues here. This is quite the undertaking. We're going to need to purchase resources by informants. I really don't know how we can do it for so little.
All right, go ahead and give me the persuasion check with advantage and add a 3 to your roll. Ooh.
Oh, whoops. I rolled twice accidentally. Okay, so 12.
He, you can see he's a bit irritated, but he, I can go 3%, no higher.
I guess that'll do.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep.
Well,
I just tend to look at everything in monetary value. How much energy am I going to have to expend? How much focus? It's just a lot. Thank you. Though.
And he says, if there are any other questions, if not, just the only thing left to decide is who is going to go in as a guard or who's going to go in as a cook, or of course some of you that might not be of large stature. And he kind of glances over to the are the Spur Neville small, or are you guys medium?
We're small.
Small.
Does mention that you could also have the option to stow away inside crates of supplies.
Couple unknown faces inside. That might be worth it.
Intriguing.
I was going to put snaps on my shoulders and get a trench coat and try to do the old 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
2 gnomes in a trench coat. Yeah. Yes. Approved.
Right. That's all of them. Everyone take back your inspiration.
Oh, yes.
I think just to leave ourselves the option open, I will take the barber position. Just in case that is an avenue we need to go down.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a guard spot.
I heard you've been training in acting, Reginald. Is that true?
A little bit in my spare time.
I seem to remember there being a play about a barber. I can't remember the name, but perhaps you can take some inspiration from that.
Queenie Sod.
Oh boy, I think he had some friends that he sang about.
Good old Tweeny Sod.
Yes, I think he had him for dinner, if I remember correctly.
So what he'll do is he'll wait and allow you to go back to your manor. Go ahead and plot out your different ideas of how you want to approach this. Since you can pull up your map at any time, you'll be able to head back to your manor house, discuss your plans, come up with like a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, and then decide after you've made your plans what roles everyone wants to take before heading up to Revel's End. Unless you have any more questions for him, he says.
One more. I want to ask on the surveillance. What manner of surveillance? Is it magical? Is it just eyeballs and windows? Are there magic mirrors that show other parts of the casino? We've run into a few different surveillance options that have tricked us up in the past.
He is the only surveillance that he is really aware of is the number of guards that are there and their patrols every 20 minutes.
I was referring to that big surveillance in the middle of the map. That's just
Let me pull that back up real quick. My apologies. There we go.
Right in the center of this is right in the center.
Oh, yes. Give me one moment. That is.
Looks like that's
Alright.
actually where the first level and the warden's office is located on the second level.
Mm-hmm.
He does say that the surveillance in there is a hexagonal room at the base of the prison's central tower, and that guards can watch through arrow slits, observing the cells.
Arrow slits.
And another one's, he believes there's also someone in there monitoring the guards' observations.
So you said it's just arrow slits?
Yes. He does know that his information does mention that there is some sort of console, a magical device that operates all the gates that can open or close all the gates at once if need be.
Prison break. If we
There's
really need a
also-
Nexus strategy, just flip that switch and we can all get out.
Everybody.
They also control all of the lights
Yes.
as the interior is going to be lit with continual flame.
Yes.
And there's also a loudspeaker that can use magic to broadcast voice throughout the whole prison.
Ooh.
And of course, yes, you do. As it was mentioned by someone, noticed that above the surveillance area there with a spiral staircase, it does go up to a barracks above it. And then, of course, the second level is where there's an office where there also the warden's office and the warden's private chambers. Then there's also the trial room where the Absolution Council meets. And then there's also the roof, Tower of the Roof.
No Reginald. No snaps. No.
Oh,
Wait, what? What were you thinking?
Well-
Because I was thinking something too. So now I'm curious if it was the same thing.
Go ahead.
Get out of my
Well,
brain!
You know, I was thinking that maybe we could have some sort of avian just take us off the roof. That'd be fun.
Room
Go
of flying.
flying. Yeah,
I
exactly.
do believe someone has a couple people have rooms of flying.
I have it equipped for this.
If we don't have any more questions for our friend here, we probably want to discuss this further out of their presence for sake of they shouldn't hear this information.
I have one more question. I'm seeing on the map down on the bottom right something marked counselors. Do we know what that is?
Yeah. It's those small chambers off to the side.
Small chambers off to the side there. Okay, give me one moment. Let me see if we can give you information about that.
I think, just kind of guessing that could be where the prisoners go to have one-on-ones with like therapists or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's a rehabilitation.
Right now, Varrin believes that only 3 chancellors are actually there. Counselors are actually there. He believes he
hold
does
on, real quick, folks. The stream is
the
freaking
stream is
out.
down.
Yep.
Stream is down.
All of my friends are messaging me. Your stream just dropped.
Stream, where'd it go?
It's a river now.
It's flowing
Literally,
lava.
my phone is going crazy right now.
It's trying. It popped back up. I think we're here.
Refresh.
There we go. All right. Kind of loading. The wonderful thing of live television or live internet streaming.
Indeed. Worst case, I can always give it a literal kick in the pants and just restart it.
We all just moved once, and then...
It seems to be loaded back in.
Oh, okay. Here we go. And we're back.
Excellent. Sorry about that, everyone. Little technical issues there. But yes, he does mention that there are 3 members of the Absolution Council that are there right now. Apparently, Counselor Jonathan is not there. But there is Counselor Voss Anderton. And Voss represents the city of Neverwinter. We're going to go ahead and come right back. We'll get the stream started again, then we'll go ahead and take our little intermission once we get it going. So please stick around. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Think we got everything fixed, ready to go. So our characters were just speaking with Varrin Axebreaker, giving them their mission. Should they choose to accept it, of course. And just before leaving Varrin, there might have been a couple of other questions. So if anyone had any other questions, I believe Stinkfoot had mentioned another question.
Just curious, the point of the stables. He happens to know anything about the stables.
What specific question are you asking about the stables?
What's the point of the stables in a prison? Are there bad horses, or is that for the guards, or is it horses, or is it birds, or what's in the stables?
Act beats most of the time. That is the general way for the beast of burden, that set of horses in the north, because of the feet of the axe beaks. They're able to cross the snow much easier. And let me see if he's got any intel for stables. Of course, visitors who come can bring their mounts. Most of the time, it's sled dogs or axe beaks, or any one that happens to bring any other creatures with them. They're usually kept there. The prison does not supply food for animals, however. Anyone that brings any visitors who bring any sort of animals must provide the food for the animals themselves. Any other questions? He asks.
I would like to know about their if there are supplies, when they could bring in supplies, because if as being a small person, if I decide to sneak inside of a barrel or such as that, I would have to go inside in a supply cargo thing.
Yeah.
Is there regular supplies?
Yeah, he knows the schedule of the next rotation. Of course, when they bring the prison staff, when they rotate them out, that's when they bring in new supplies as well. So if you wanted to hide in certain boxes of supplies to perhaps maybe get yourself into a particular room ahead of time, those that are small can do so as well.
Okay. That may be a plan.
All right, he says, well, if that's all you have, then I'll let you get to your planning. And then, of course, just let me know before we head out. I will have to know by the morning if you wish, or what you wish to pose as. If you wish to pose as any of the prison workers and such, the staff, as I will have to have my people basically, snatch them up to capture them before you take their place. And once you've decided which role you're going to play, come up with a suitable persona, as it were. And with that, he kind of nods and says, I'm going to retire to my room.
Sure.
Good night.
And you've been there for a couple of hours, so it's early afternoon. Plates, of course, empty on your table. You've had 2 or 3 pints over the course of those couple of hours. And unless you wish to do anything else, you can go ahead and head back to Troll Skull Manor and can begin planning your heist.
All right. Sounds great. The planning shall begin. So we've got guards, barbers, cooks, sneaking inside of barrels or other supplies. What other options can you guys think of?
Do you have a potion of mind reading? If that comes to a point where we want to try to trick the information out of the person, we could try to coerce it out that way.
Okay.
Trying to pose as maybe like another prisoner and speaking to her and like, oh yeah, you got any fun things outside for when you get out, type of thing.
Right. Okay.
That's
sounds good.
about my only other idea.
Anybody else?
In my level up process, I picked up Spider Climb, and I do have Detect Thoughts that I copied out of the scroll book we found in between missions. I spent the gold and the time to grab
Good,
Detect
good.
Thoughts. And Comprehend Languages, but I don't know if that's going to be worth much. So yeah,
Does anybody know? Sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead.
I was going to ask if you knew Minor Illusions by chance. You do?
Ethelinda does.
Ethelinda. Since they do have little arrow slits in the walls, if we wanted to try to trick security, I don't know if you can just do like a little black wall for a moment as we're going by, or if you can do like an image of just the wall in front of it, just to make it look like nothing's happening. Yeah, just.
Mage Hand will do that.
I do know.
I would like to say that I have a bit of training as a bard. I have a couple little spells, but I do have access to a sleep spell.
Yes.
So,
Oh, dang. Do we know how many
in addition,
people are in the security room at a time? Did we get that information?
Not necessarily the exact number, but he can give you a guesstimate. Give me a moment here. Are you talking about just in the security room itself, or throughout the whole prison?
No, just in that room, the central
Okay.
security room.
Just the surveillance. Generally, probably half a dozen or more guards.
Fog Cloud would be a good spell if anybody
Mhm.
had that.
Don't.
Oh, real quick, I will impress one last thing upon everyone as well that Varrin did mention. Is obviously keep in mind the Golden Vault is all about doing good, and all of these guards and such like that are probably good people. So
Probably.
noted.
that would probably be a better situation. Luckily, no one has Fireball yet, but
Don't tempt me.
It's only a matter of time.
that is true.
Um,
So yeah, your little planning area library that you have in your Troll Skull Manor, where your characters are right now.
Yep, I know if we can get Stinkfoot within a bit of range of our prisoner, you've been able to speak to us from rooms away before.
Yes.
There could be a possibility of communication without direct interaction.
Okay.
I was wondering how we're going to communicate with each other.
I have message.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Yes, you do have
Except we don't have
messages.
sending stones.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not yet.
Love a good Rocky Talkie.
And if anyone's got any ideas, I can find my familiar, any type of critter from spider to
Well,
hawk.
that's right. You haven't really cast that and decided what you're getting yet, have you?
No, I haven't. So I can sit down and ritually cast.
Yeah, suggestions. One of my favorite familiars, outside obviously of being a warlock and having an imp, as Ethelinda does with Charlie. That you could. One of my favorites for wizards is an owl, because for one, the owl has advantage on perception with their sight when you're looking through their eyes, and then they also have the awesome ability of flyby, which allows them to move in and move out. So you can move in, give the help action to Sky, and then move out. And then Sky would be next and have advantage on their first attack. Mechanically,
And that stops them from being prone to opportunity attacks, right?
Correct.
Correct. They can move in, and move out.
Hmm.
I don't
I
know.
know some-
We got an interesting
I know
group
some
of.
viewers-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, we have some of our viewers that might be questioning. Sometimes DMs will rule you have to be using the help action. You have to be within 5 feet. As part of the Adventurers League rules, we are allowed to use sage advice columns for our rulings. And any tweets or social media posts by the official Wizards of the Coast game designers and such like that. And the wonderful Jeremy Crawford had mentioned in the past that flyby does work with the help action, allowing the familiar to fly into range, use the help action to, mess with them and give an opening for a companion to get an advantage and then fly away with the flyby ability. So that is one of the things. Otter, go ahead. My apologies.
Oh, I was just going to say I'm real curious to see what Stinkfoot ends up picking for a familiar, because we currently have an imp, a gaggle of raccoons, and a question mark.
True.
If I drop
Oh
snake,
yeah.
is your raccoons going to eat my snake?
Oh, it's that riddle with the fox and the chicken and the bird seed on the boat.
How do you get all of these animals to cross the water without them eating each other?
Jeez.
So how are your raccoons going to be into play while
I was
we're
going to
there?
answer Otter real quick in chat. In 5th edition, Lightning Bolt no longer bounces back in 5th edition.
Is
It
that
was,
a thing you could do?
Back in the day, yes, the lightning bolt would go off until its range was completed. So if you're in a 20-foot hallway and you cast lightning bolt, it would bounce back 4 or 5 times before it would fizzle out.
Fireball had a
That's
thing
pretty
too where
cool.
if you cast it
Yep.
in an enclosed area, it would blow up.
Yeah,
I
fireball does
didn't know
still
that.
go around. Fireball does still go around corners now too, though. All right, my apologies for interrupting our wonderful adventures. It's time to start planning your heist.
All right, so no
Okay.
need to complicate things, gentlemen. I think plan one, obviously, is to use our rolls to get in, find the prisoner, speak with them, find out what they want for the information, and then go from there. If they want their freedom, which we don't even know that they do, then we'll have to figure out a way to get them out. Otherwise, find out how to get them what they want. I think the real problem is going to be getting out.
So long as we don't
Oh.
raise any alarms, it shouldn't be too difficult. It'll be more difficult than getting in, obviously, but so long as nobody knows that we're there, easy. If we do get caught, I think that we need to go with option C, start a riot and just let everybody out. So whoever's the fastest, just book it to that console, flip the switch, whatever happens. If I need to be that person to start a riot, I'll do it. No problem, no questions asked. Done.
Invisibility.
Oh yeah, see it right there.
Okay.
What's the-
While we are, if we are going with plan one from the start, where we are each taking up positions within the prison, how are we going to communicate with each other when needed for us to either facilitate something happening or to let us know we gotta go?
We could have somebody stationed in that room with the loudspeaker, do weird little noises or something on it. Give us, somebody sit there with a timer, and if we need to do something that's time sensitive, have them do a little beep or something on the voice thing. Yeah. It's an option. Beyond that, just trying to keep everything synced up with time or having a meeting place.
Well, I saw the mess hall, so I'm wondering if we can get it so that we're all eating at the same time, and at least maybe twice a day we could meet up and exchange information.
Yeah, that's a good point to make out as well, because once you do reach Revel's End, you'll have 5 days.
Mhm.
So don't get there. Keep in mind while you're planning, which is really interesting, fun stuff so far is that you can do it over a number of days. So once you get in there and you get more information while you're in there, it can help out as well.
I definitely
I like the
think
mess
that's
hall
our best
idea.
bet. Yeah.
I like that.
I mean,
I
don't
don't
have any
schedule
other
dinner
ways
time.
besides Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how especially for the two people that are going as guards, if they're going to be on the same shift. We might have to find a way to finagle that.
Well, let's
Mhm.
see here. You wanted to do the cook. Our Paragon friend here said that he was gonna, or they were going to do the barber position potentially. What about you two, fine gentlemen? What did you want to do?
We're going in a trash bag.
You're going in a trash bag. Okay, so I'm going to be the only guard. You guys are going in as trash.
I think we're too small to go in as guards. I think it'd be pretty obvious if we show up.
I mean, there's gnomes up here, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Why wouldn't you be a guard?
yeah, he could be a guard.
Okay, I'll be a
Well,
guard.
We could trench coat idea, and both of you could be a guard.
I do see Stinkfoot's
we could.
the fact that he is also a wizard. So not only is he a gnome, but he's also a wizard. So he probably would be great as a guard, considering you do know that the guards do have to wear split mail.
Oh, yeah, you'd be not in a good spot.
But you could,
yeah.
as Snaps had mentioned, Stinkfoot and Snaps could sneak in inside the crates of supplies.
Yeah, that's what.
Having you guys as unseen recon might be a really good idea. You can slip around in especially being small as it is, you guys can slip around in like the ventilation system or try to squeeze through the arrow slits. I don't know how big those are, but
Probably too small for that. But then the mess hall idea wouldn't work because you couldn't be in there.
Correct.
Well, if
We'd have to be hiding.
they could hide in some of the kitchen's like supplies and at least talk to you at the bare minimum.
It's true.
And he's got message, right?
Yeah, which one had message? Okay.
Stinkfoot does, yeah. He does.
Stink does? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So he can at least disseminate information to us.
Real quick, before we had our little technical difficulties, I was describing the council members, right? The counselors.
Oh, yes.
I do want to go back to that because we're having a little bit of discussion and chat there about the D&D movie. The characters weren't really explored in the D&D movie. Of course, Revel's End was created specifically for the movie, and they added it to Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, to give a little bit of continuity. And in this adventure, they do describe the three, other than Counselor Jonathan, the Aarakocra. They do describe the other three. There is Counselor Voss Anderton, who represents the city of Neverwinter. And they have a very precise, lawyerly way of speaking. And they never miss a council meeting or a parole hearing. And he always votes with his head, not his heart. There's also Counselor Jill Torbo. And Jill represents the city of Baldur's Gate. She was the halfling that really didn't like her job very much. She has no sense of humor and sighs deeply when her patience is tested. And then, of course, there was Counselor Kriv Norixius, who represents the town of Daggerford, and that was the Dragonborn, and is always hoping to impress the Duchess of Daggerford. So those were the counselors that are actually there at Revel's End, and for those of you that have seen the film, those are the characters of the counselors that were in the film. All right,
cool.
My apologies. I forgot that we were doing that before the technical difficulty. So go ahead.
Do we know which? You said there's only 3 counselors there now. Do we know which one isn't there?
That would be Counselor Jonathan.
You're able to change your appearance, at least your clothing, and for the most part, your glamour. Could you potentially make yourself look like somebody else?
I can.
Take my hat on and put it back. Take it off, put it back on, and I look like Sky.
Yes.
Whoa!
Reginald does
So
have
long
a
as you don't, so long as you don't touch anybody or anybody touches you, you could go in as a counselor. The one that's not there, Jonathan Aarakocra. So just make sure you don't touch anything with your wings.
And I do have the spell Disguise Self, but I've never used it. Just from my bard abilities there. I've only got a few spells, just not many at all.
Yeah.
You also
Same
have-
issue, but the height.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, the height, yeah. So you can
We might go to reach
seem
your
1
hand.
foot shorter. You could be 1 foot shorter or taller. Okay.
Well, or
I
Aarakocra are only like 4 foot, 5 foot tall, if that.
Well, they're about 5. They're normal medium size.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like not like small creatures, but they were short, if you know what I mean.
I will say, well, I can disguise myself as a wide range of things.
Mm-hmm.
Deception is not my forte.
To kind of maybe not only help you with your planning, but to inform the viewers, what is your permanent magic item that each one of you brought? Stink, what did you bring? You brought the Broom of Flying.
Broom of Flying.
And Snaps, what did you bring?
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. I've got the Gloves of Thievery. Is that one of my items that would count for that, or is it one of the
Yeah,
other?
if that's what you wanted to bring, that would be the one item that you bring into your one.
Yes, the Gloves of Thievery.
Of the thievery. Okay, and then what does Linda have? Linda have? Sorry,
Rod of the Pact Keeper.
Rather Cat Pack Keeper +1. And what did Sky bring?
Could you refresh me on those rules? Actually, what are the stipulations? Because I don't actually have any magic items on this character.
Oh, okay. Well, for Adventurers League, with the new current rules, everyone can keep a copy of every magic item you encounter in the game, including consumables, as long as the consumable is not used. And you can keep all of them, and you just basically build your magic item board. But at tier 1, you can bring in one permanent uncommon magic item. If you happen to have a rare one or a very rare one, depending on what adventures you play, you can bring that as well. But you can have one of those. You can have up to 5 common magic items that you can bring and 5 consumables that you can bring. Once you reach tier 2, which is levels 5 through 10, you can bring up to 3 permanent magic items, and then your consumables go up to 10. So you can bring like 10 potions and such with you.
Yep, the only thing that I've been exposed to so far is the potion of mind reading, and that's what I'll be bringing.
Fair enough. All right, so yeah, you can go back then, and of course, Reginald has his hat of disguise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to your planning. My apologies for the interruption.
No
Well,
worries.
it seems like we have a lot of contingencies going on. Any other alternative plans? I know we were talking about potentially interacting in the courtyard. Do we just want to try to do just a standard jailbreak, go in, bust her out, leave? Or are we feeling the infiltration mission is what we want to do?
I think the infiltration mission might be the best bet. I mean, initially, I don't really know. I mean, because it seems like the get in there, break her out, and bust out would be very difficult, I would think, unless we had a really good plan that just happened to work really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I definitely am on board.
we have a pretty safe inn at the moment for us to, at least if we have 5 days, we can gather info for a day or so and kind of feel things out before we look into what could be a jailbreak versus information gathering.
Okay. So we definitely want to do the infiltration status. Where do we want to try to encounter her? The courtyard, the hospital? Do we want to try to pose somebody as another prisoner and get her into the prison cell as like a roomie type thing? Those are another idea.
Mhm.
I like that idea, but not right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I think the guard or 2, the barber, the cook, and then day 1 we just all use our role to try to find a way to talk to the prisoner, and then in the mess hall share whatever information, knowing where everybody else is. So if you get the opportunity to bring somebody to the hospital, you have somebody there.
Seems like
That would require Stinkfoot and Snaps to actually take rolls instead of sneaking in.
right.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It
I
seems
have
like
a
only 3 of them.
theoretical on that, actually.
Okay.
Snaps, you said you have the ability to disguise yourself, yeah?
Yes, I have a spell, but I also have. I'm skilled in disguise. I have a disguise kit, and I'm skilled in doing disguises. But I also do have a spell that only
So-
lasts for how long? Let's see.
An hour.
I think it's an
An
hour.
Okay, thanks. Okay, but I can disguise.
If they allow guests to visit prisoners,
Hmm.
you could go in as not you. Talk to prisoner 13. Maybe inform them that they're not looking too well. They should seek out the infirmary.
Okay.
It's a
Interesting.
possibility to drop a hint, see if they take it, to lead her to one of us at whatever station we may be at. We could, because it is being monitored by the warden, we can't say much in that scenario. But if you obfuscate your words enough, we might be able to sneak a hint through and see if we can pique their interest.
Is it the warden that observes or a guard? I forgot.
He said it was the warden.
I
Is
think
it
they
the
said it was the
warden?
warden.
For observing what?
For
the
observing
meeting?
the
Observing-
interactions, yeah.
Yep. Marta will be at each one of the any visitors that come to visit the prisoners. Marta, the warden, does oversee those meetings. Yes.
That
And
might
then
be rough.
I would think that the
interacting
visitor should leave afterwards.
Yeah.
Like after they have the meeting, then I would be looked at and watched, and then I would have to leave. And then I would have to think about trying to get back in to help you guys. So that might be.
If you're coming in with supplies, it might not be.
When you were asking about asking Varrin about the counselor's quarters, when you had mentioned that to him, he did mention that the rooms are set aside for the 10 members of the Absolution Council, though only 3 of them are currently in use. And then that when the other counselors aren't there, the warden does let visitors use the spare rooms if they need to stay overnight.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe
you might not
that's
have
possible.
to leave immediately, but that would cut down the amount of time you would be able to be at the prison.
And Zard does make a good point for you all in the chat there.
Okay.
Visitors might be subject to a physical search.
And as I mentioned earlier, if you do have disguise self on, it does not hold up to touch.
It's only glamour.
Okay. Right.
Well, maybe flip it around. Have you go in as yourself, and then use disguise self when you're out doing something else, sneaking around or whatever.
Yeah, go in as myself, and then all of a sudden, where'd he go? Where'd that guy go? And then there's a guard. I'm an extra guard walking around.
Exactly.
But then they would be on alert because they'd be like, where did the missing gnome go?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on brooming up to the roof and coming down the stairs stealthily, or
Climbing up to the roof?
we'll have the
Brooming
broom.
up. Oh, brooming.
So,
yes.
up to the roof and pick the
Yeah.
lock.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's another. We'd have to stay hidden the whole time.
Yeah,
And
you
that
have to
would
wait
take
for it to
you.
storage.
That would take
Now,
you
the other
right
thing
by
too-
the warden office as well.
Yeah.
The other thing to note here is that this is a separate session than part 2, which is a separate session. So you can also choose your magic items that you want to bring. So if Snaps wanted to bring his broom of flying as well, you would have 2 brooms of flying. That's another option.
Okay.
I think we could both ride on one, though, right?
Yes,
can
I
hold,
believe the brooms of flying can hold, is it 400 pounds or 200?
Definitely two Smurf Nebly. Smurf
Sure
Nebly.
Now, the brooms of flying can hold up to 400 pounds, but their flying speed becomes 30 feet. Otherwise, they can hold up to 200 pounds and have a flying speed of 50 feet.
And we're under 200, the two of us, so.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if we got two, then you could each have.
Yeah.
And you could potentially
Somebody.
carry one of us too, yeah, or even the prisoner. So having two
Oh,
brooms
yeah.
might be a good escape
So,
route.
for sake of clarity, what are we looking at for option A, for plan A? What are we looking at for that one?
Can I put one more thing out before we do that? I don't know if that went or not.
This is kind of like a DM player reversal. This is where you guys make all the plans, and I, as the DM, get to come in and mess it all up. So, feel free.
If I pick my familiar as a raven,
Oh, okay.
I could do creepy things like a baby crying or other things to maybe get the guards to go
Mimicry.
check something out.
I love Mimic.
I'm sure there's a couple places on the map where we could sneak a raven in and have them, make some creepy sounds. I blink them out, blink them back in, send them to the courtyard. I'm not sure. Just as another option to make things more confusing.
And I do have Charlie, who can be invisible and can speak common.
Mm-hmm.
Can be
So he
invisible.
could just hang
Forgot
out.
about
Yeah, he can just hang out invisible in the courtyard.
That's true.
Good old Charlie.
It is also important to note to double check your map that you can bring up.
It's been up nonstop since we got it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is important to note that the prisoners' cells.
Yeah, magic, anti-magic.
Permanent anti-magic, yes.
But just what's red, right? Just the.
Just in the
Correct.
cell.
Yes, just in the cells.
So magic cannot affect anything within the red.
Correct.
But
Are
to our
those-
friend,
Magical.
Are the doors on the cells subject to the ability the map gives us for deadening the arcane locks?
Yeah, the maps, that ability from the map, I'm going to say that they are still, it's just inside the cells that are, which is where the anti-magic is. It wouldn't extend out to the door because it doesn't mention
Okay.
anything about that. You can use your action to touch the image of a door or hatch on a map. Like when you bring it up, you bring up the little image that you have on your handout, basically. And if you just touch that, you can use that to suppress the lock for 1 minute.
so
Okay.
looking at the calling the prison cells a clock, our prisoners in like the 1 o'clock position. If we went to like 7 and 8 o'clock, pop the lock, had our friend Charlie just be like, "Hey, come here! Hey, come here!" Get a couple people out of their cells opposite our prisoner, and then just stop. Just let that be the chaos for the night, and just get them, between a baby crying somewhere in the privy and doors popping open here and there. I mean, we may be able to torture these guards to the point where we'll have not technical rolling advantage, but we'll have the advantage over them if they're just, where's that baby coming from? Why are the doors popping open? Who's running around, yelling things in common,
Are
invisibly,
you
Charlie?
recommending we haunt the prison?
Maybe.
I mean, that's an idea.
I do remember hearing something though about the patrols increasing if they become.
Yeah.
I
If
think
they
that was
become alerted,
suspicious.
then they gotta deal
more
with
alert.
more.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but they only have the guards they have. So if they're increasing patrol,
True.
and you have your 5 guards, and all of a sudden they're all pulling double shifts, they're going to be tired. They're going to be cranky. They're going to be maybe not paying as much attention. If you're up all night looking for the crying baby in the privy, maybe when your next shift comes up as a double, you're just like, whatever, I'm going to go find a counselor's room and sleep.
You can easily, without any making any rolls or anything like that, easily assume that there are probably on one shift alone at least 24 guards.
Okay.
And you can also easily surmise that the barracks would probably contain anywhere from 50 to maybe 75 more guards.
So we're looking at 100+ people.
Perhaps, yes. That's just guard.
Avoid stirring the pot.
Yeah. So here's my suggestion
in
for
mind.
Plan A.
I do like that suggestion because of the fact that, again, as it was mentioned, you do have 5 days. So doing something like that might find out like how many more guards come up, how often do the guards patrol more when that situation arises.
Sort of play the long game with them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With their minds.
See what we can figure out for the first 2, maybe 3 days.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then if we gotta hustle for something, we got 2 full days to figure that out. But
Alright, so my suggestion for Plan A is we station the imp so that it is in the courtyard, invisible. We wait for said prisoner to enter courtyard. Imp delivers invisible message to prisoner to fake illness, feign something, so that they can go see the barber and get fixed up. Then we have potentially myself, or at least myself and another guard, be the escortees, so that way we can get more time, and essentially just do have that be the interaction, at least for option A. You know, as for option B through C and D, I definitely like the idea of haunting the prison though, because causing some mental stress to people sounds really amusing.
Chaos
Yeah.
breeds opportunity.
It does.
Mhm.
So
Sleepy eyes.
For those of you, the whole theme of Unleashing Chaos began, that are joining, they're watching the stream. That all began in the very first episode when they unleashed a mechanical Allosaurus in a museum. So
Who would do that?
they never found who did that in the
it
museum.
was all over. Yeah,
I think
Bro,
someone even said Chaos Brigade, unofficial name of
Yeah,
a
something
party.
Like
Chaos Brigade.
time for
Chad
some merch.
says we should go in as a ghost hunting crew. We heard you got ghosts.
Oh.
That could get the other two. That could get the 2 gnomes in. The
Yeah.
3 of us could go in, do the haunting, and then the 2 gnomes show up as ghost hunters to fight the ghosts that we just created.
We're the
I like
Banshee
this idea.
Busters.
now
I
that
like
right
this idea.
That is ingenious right there. Thank you, Rescue Cuts. That's
I like-
awesome. And Dard came in with the idea for the ghost hunting crew. That's a really great idea too.
Are you
That
gonna
could be
miss
one of
me?
your That could be one of your
Banshee
options.
Busters.
So that's Plan B, is to become ghost hunters.
Plan B is haunt the prison.
Haunt the prison. Yes.
And nothing says we can't do. I mean, if the 2 gnomes are sneaking about anyway, nothing says we can't do both plans.
Mhm.
Yeah, true.
Split the
Like
party.
day one, the gnomes try to stay hidden. The 3 of us try to get in touch with the prisoner and do that whole plan, and then we can always pivot.
Would we want me to go in rather than a guard as another prisoner? You guys detain me and bring me in that way, so you caught me leaving the premises or something?
It might be harder to get you out if you're in as a prisoner.
Very true.
And
We
I'd
won't-
prefer
you'll be stripped
all
of all
us-
items.
Yes.
Oh,
I'd prefer
yeah,
all of
we'd
us
have
to be able to leave when this is over.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
can bring
don't-
your items in.
I still might hit the riot button as we're leaving. Just, for reasons.
Oh, if
By the way,
we need
chaos?
a flashy distraction, we have a button for that. We would have to find where that is first, whether it's in the
Yes.
surveillance room or the warden's room.
Ooh.
I think it was described during the surveillance room with the arrow slits. There was a lights control and a open all the doors control and a transmit sounds throughout. Those were all mentioned during the what's in the surveillance hexagon.
Okay.
So when it comes to Charlie, how is he just like a straight familiar?
Yes.
Yeah, the warlock.
Using him or leaving him behind if, like, we say, Charlie, go press the button that opens all the doors? Not that he would know what that is, but
Yeah, he's got a pretty high intelligence. They're a higher level familiar than.
Yeah, for warlocks can, when they use find familiar, they can also summon either. They can choose like I believe it's an imp or a quasit or pseudo dragon. I think.
A pseudo dragon, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it's pretty smart. He can speak, fly, be invisible.
So he's not a dumb raven. Okay.
Well, I will note that we did have a guest a couple of weeks ago on our Tavern Talks, Paul Gabbett. He did do a wonderful adventure about familiars. Find that familiar. He actually won an Annie Award for that. You can always resummon them, but familiars do not like the experience of dying, just so you know.
Okay.
Well,
If
then.
anyone has to check it out, definitely. But no, you could. That is an option you could do. Of course, obviously use Charlie in that manner to get in there to do that if need be. Then, of course, Charlie can go invisible. So
It would be a good way for us to finagle at least initial contact without any of us having to show our hand, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get through day one at least without.
Get
The
in.
question is,
Yeah.
how will Prisoner 13 react to a amorphous voice speaking to them?
I
Okay,
have
in
come
addition to the-
to tell you that it is time to leave. Meh.
If they're wanted, they'll give in.
What is your
Okay.
quest?
So
No.
provided that we do these, we actually have, plan A, plan A1, plan B, plan B1, however we go about it, and we actually do make communication with the prisoner, and we're able to convince the prisoner to give this information about the key getting out. So what would we do? We need to have a contingency plan to, get out this way or get out that way or get out with her this way or get out without her this way. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I like the idea of you guys having your brooms and potentially leaving through the roof if we do leave with her, and the rest of us, since we're already look like staff, just waltzing out the exit. As best case scenario, we are just able to leave type of thing. That would make sense to me. Other than that, I've got the emergency button.
I like the broom idea. I've been thinking about that ever since you mentioned that we could take the broom. Since I have my gloves, I could just take the broom instead. That sounds like a plan.
If we want to go the broom route, how are we going to get the three of you, assuming we have to take the prisoner with us, past the warden's office and everything in that tower to get to the roof?
You're saying on the way out or in?
Out.
We could use your hat to disguise her as somebody else, and at least try to sneak that way. Because invisibility is a thing. Yes, no.
I have invisibility, so
You have invisibility. You don't have the ability to cast it on other people, though, do you?
Yeah, invisible
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So
we could put it on
they can
her.
at least disguise. Yeah, they can invisible her, disguise themselves, and then that's at least part of it.
Okay.
I'll say for
everyone give me an insight check.
insights.
I'll use my
Insight.
tactical assessment on this as well.
I like Reginald rolled high. Nice guy as well.
ah,
All right. Reginald and Sky, you could cast invisibility on the prisoner to get her out, right?
Mhm.
But what's to say if you can't see where she's at that she just doesn't run and leave on her own?
I mean,
Manacles?
you say that, but I don't know a whole lot about magic. I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you also are very well planning things out, and with a 19 insight, that is something there. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could handcuff her to
Point.
one of them.
I
Just
mean,
that'd fuck up the illusion, or screw up the illusions.
if we are planning to extract her from the roof, and we are pushing her that direction, she really wouldn't have a whole lot of option to try and run if we're moving up a tower, because down is worse than up.
And keep in mind, I would point out, your characters would obviously know this. On the handout, if you look right above the surveillance, is the barracks.
Yep.
So you'll have to go through the barracks.
Yeah, the
If you
barracks,
aim for
the warden's
from the top,
office.
or you try to escape from the top, you will have to go through the barracks.
How tall of a tower is it? Does it say?
It looks to be about maybe 80 to 100 feet tall.
So assuming they get into the room, they could mount their brooms and just fly up the spiral staircase as fast as they can.
You could definitely need calculations on everyone's weights, of course, too.
Yeah. Because really, we only have to worry about the two gnomes and at least she's a dwarf.
Yes, she is a dwarf.
So a dwarf and a gnome probably equal what a normal sized person, maybe a little bit more.
Maybe. I think I don't even think that Snaps and Stinkfoot together make 100 pounds. Do you?
No.
No,
I mean, you would have your
45 pounds or something.
Yeah, that I mean, and in my opinion, that could work. Just make sure she gets on the broom with you, and you just straight book it.
I mean, she has been in prison for a while, so she's probably ripped. So she might be a bit stocky.
True. I think the idea is we at least get the information from her before we let her go. So if she did take off, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. It's like, fine, you want to leave? Nah, it's not our problem anymore. We got what we came for.
Yeah,
Sure,
and
it'd be
we
the
don't really
nice
know
thing.
what she's in there for either, right? I mean,
Right.
she
Yeah.
may have done something really nasty.
And
Yeah,
we have a
it'd be
faster
nice
way
to
out
get
than
her
she
out.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we do not owe her anything.
But it's true. So then, initially, what you're planning on doing is going ahead and having Stinkfoot and Snaps come in as cooks or guards as well, instead of having them sneak in.
Is that what we would want to do?
Say that again, Mitch.
So the first plan is have everyone sneak in as prison staff, looking about, checking out the rotations, checking out routines, things of that nature, trying to find a way to contact Prisoner 13 for Plan A, let's say. Plan B being an idea of, or Plan A1, as it were, having the other three go in and do the little haunting fun thing, and then having Snaps and Stinkfoot come in as the ghost hunters. Then the other option is to come in from the roof, perhaps sneak your way down, at least to the warden's level, to find out any information you can get there, and then go from there, whatever the plan is after that. And the other option is to have Reginald go in as a healer, basically into the hospital area. The rest of you come in, either cooks, guards, sneak in, find some way to either convince Prisoner 13 to go to the hospital / infirmary to get some information. And then another option is to even have Charlie approach her on the outside in the courtyard when she's getting her daily PT. something like that.
That's pretty much what we were looking at.
All right.
A,
And the other
A1,
ideas-
A2, A3.
There you go. Now, what
So,
happens
Any
if
other?
you want to leave?
Sorry, what?
What happens if
want-
the prisoner doesn't want to leave?
You say doesn't want to leave?
If she
Yeah.
doesn't want to leave, then
It'd make it easier. I would
we'll.
think.
Mind reading potion that we were trying to trick the
Mind reading
information
potion,
out
there
of
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Whether
Nice.
it's one of us or something, I don't know.
So you're all so you're all upstairs here in the Troll Skull Manor, talking about these different plans and such like that. And all of a sudden you hear a commotion coming from lift spirits down below.
Jump up very quickly and go to see what the sound is.
All right. Running downstairs. Let me bring everyone over to off of where you're at here upstairs.
I actually have a real quick question for the party.
Ooh.
First, for the DM, we found Assassin's Blood Poison
Mm-hmm.
in the previous game. Was that an item that carried over, or was that a story item?
Because that's a mundane item, only one character can keep that, and I think that you would give it to Dantish.
Yes.
Okay.
Snaps has it.
Oh, Staps has it. Yes.
It was more of a... It popped in my head the idea of... If we have someone in the kitchens...
Are you reading the chat?
Actually, no. Ha!
That's hilarious.
Good brain chat. Same. Theoretically, if we were to mess with the food for the guards...
Yeah. I was thinking that, yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see again. That's why I think day one should be trying to figure this kind of like what's possible, because I don't know if they eat on different shifts. If I know which meals are going to the guards versus going to the prisoners versus going to the warden, even. So yeah, if we can figure that out, that's definitely an idea.
Yeah, if that's something we want to look into, we would probably want to acquire some herbs or materials of some sort to have on hand, if that's something we want to get into.
I can just not wash my hands.
There you go.
On day 5 of not washing my hands and preparing food.
But coming downstairs after talking about that, you hear the commotion downstairs and lift spirits in the tavern down below. You're able to make your way in, and you see rampaging around the tavern some drunken patrons. They are bullying some of the customers there. Of course, around this time, it is getting close to evening. You do know that Braden does have a fairly nice dinner crowd that comes in, and they are roughhousing and destroying stuff, knocking over stools, eating things off of other people's plates, things of that nature.
Sleep.
Excuse me, gentlemen. You're going to have to find somewhere else to ruin.
And they turn around and they kind of look you up and down. Do you want to give an intimidation check or anything like that, or just going to mention something to them?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do an intimidation. Why not?
Okay.
Right there.
They kind of laugh at you and they pull their weapons and say something along the lines of, "You're not going to tell us what to do. Our captain couldn't. And that's why he no longer controls the ship." And it is initiative. Everyone, please select your tokens and roll initiative for me.
I guess I can put the prison map away for now.
I kept opening it up and closing it, opening it, closing it. It's still on the map there. It's still on the screen. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And you can have Charlie go on your initiative.
Okay.
Ethelwinda.
Excellent. I
That's
was
not
just
a
trying to figure
problem.
out how to roll initiative.
Whoa.
Ethelwinda, Charlie should have token actions. If you click on them up in the top left corner of Roll20, it'll have a bunch of the different
excellent.
token actions for you up there for him.
And that cool.
But yeah,
So
I'll have him
first-
go on my turn.
Okay. The first people to act are this guy seems to be their kind of leader, but these other three rowdy patrons are the first to act. They are actually going to step forward. This one's going to come around here to Snaps, and this one's going to move up over here to Sky.
I will use Brace.
Sure,
When
of course.
a creature moves into my space, or at least my reach, I can make a melee attack.
Yes, go ahead.
Let's do this one. Does a 10 hit this guy?
10 does not.
Okay.
Barely misses, as you do notice that your weapon attack does not pierce through their leather armor. So you barely miss the attack. And they will step forward and make their attacks as well. The one on Reginald swings his mace, hitting an armor class of 19 for 4 bludgeoning.
That'll do.
And they do have 2 attacks, so he'll swing again, hitting an armor class of 17 for 8 bludgeoning. Oof.
That'll do.
The one on Sky next. AC of 19 for 3 bludgeoning.
Yep.
An AC of 12 will miss. And for those of you that are wondering with our viewers, I always have everything roll advantage, and I always take the left number. Unless advantage or disadvantage applies, then I'll consult the right number. And then the one on Snaps. For 6 bludgeoning. Do you want to uncanny dodge that, Snaps?
Oh, yes.
All right, I'll take that on 3. And then a 7 will miss. Sky, you're up next.
All right, I'm gonna look at this dude right in front of me and say, let's just get you right out that door, shall we? And I am going to kind of take a step in with my foot and attack with both of my long swords.
Those will both hit.
Boom and a boom. 17
Nice.
total non-lethal damage.
Okay. Excellent. So yeah, if you reduce them to 0 hit points with a melee attack, you can choose to completely knock them out. Not a problem. Stink, you are up.
I pull some rose petals out of a pocket in my jacket, and I
Okay.
cast sleep.
All right. Go ahead and grab the template out of your journal and go ahead and place that up on the board.
I had that super handy. Spells and templates.
Would be under by spell, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just singing the alphabet song in my head, trying to find sleep. LMNO. Actually, I don't see sleep. I see sleep.
URS.
Sleep to storm. Sleep to snare.
Sleep is not in there, huh? Oh, well, give me 1 second. Wonderful transmogrifier.
I'm like HIJK LMNOP. Now what do I kick? 5d8 while you're looking for that? 5d8. Turn
Yeah, I
on.
missed that. There we go.
All right. Do I have to refresh? Let me see if I close and open it. Does it show up?
It should be in between Silent Image and Sleep Storm now.
Well,
Sleep
it
Storm.
didn't. There it is. I had to like close the plus and open the plus.
Sure.
That's beautiful.
No,
Why
where
is
do you
it-
want to put that?
I'm trying to move it down a hair.
Down a hair.
I get it.
Why isn't it?
See
Mitch,
if I
why-
can move.
Okay,
I have access to move it. Oh, there we go.
there we go. You do? That's weird. I want to try to grab as many of them as I can. I think starting it next to this fool.
The only problem is that if you center it right there, you're still going to get sky in it. And that's as far because of the wall there. You can't really center it beyond that wall. You could center it down here to the south and get these two, the one that's on sky and get the one that's kind of their leader.
Sure. Just bummed that I can't move it. Yeah, we'll do that.
Right there. All right, and you got 21 hit points, correct?
Yeah.
This, the one on sky will fall asleep and be unconscious.
Okay.
As he's falling asleep, I'm just gonna put my hand on his shirt and push him over. See? On your way out already. Good job.
This one is not affected by it. Any movement for
Am I up against? I must be up against the wall here because I can't say anything to that side. Yeah, I'll stay here in the corner.
All right, Ethelinda, you're up.
Okay. Ethelinda will bonus action hex this one,
Okay.
and then
Which ability score do you want to hex?
Oh, that's a good call. I'll say strength in case somebody wants to grapple him,
All right.
and then attack with my dagger. Because we're trying not to kill these guys, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I am.
That's
Oh,
what your
my
companions are wanting to do, yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second.
I just try not to kill people unless, they're actually actively trying to murder me.
Exactly.
Oh, does the hex, if I attack with a melee weapon, will the hex damage also be non-lethal? Or is that apply
If
only?
you have your points, yes, as long as it's a melee attack.
All right.
Oof.
Nope. And
Anything for Charlie?
Yeah, I'll have Charlie help. He doesn't have to be visible to do the help action, does he?
He actually does, I believe. We double check that for you.
Because I think if he's just flitting around somebody invisible, that might distract them enough. But if the rules,
Yeah, it might be a possibility. Let me just double check it here. Just combat help. Under 8 to another creature. For 8, a friendly creature and attacking a creature within 5 feet of it, you feign distract. Yeah, you can do it invisible, sure. Doesn't say anything about having to see. So
Okay.
sure, yeah.
then yeah, he will do the help action on this one, and that's just on the next attack, or can
Yes.
you choose? Okay. Yep.
And since he is invisible, he would not have attacks of opportunity against you. So if you wanted to, we just discussed flyby earlier. If you want to move him somewhere else, go ahead.
Well, he'll go over there, do the help action on this one, and then move back to his position here.
Okay. I'll go ahead and put his band just there. That will bring up Snaps.
All right. Well, Snaps would just like to stick up his chin and start talking to this one and unleash a string of insults for vicious mockery.
Oh, is that what you want to do, or do you want to attack him? Because you do have advantage on your attack.
Oh, I already have advantage because of the yeah. Okay.
Help, yeah. So if you want to,
Yeah, he's helping. I forgot. Yeah. Of course. I'll just do an attack with my dagger.
Nice.
Well, I've got a dagger in one hand, short sword in the other. I'll just do the short sword.
That will hit.
Nice.
Your sneak attack does apply. Oof. 24.
Okay.
End turn for snaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and disengage
have-
bonus action.
Okay, I was gonna say you don't because you don't have dual wield or anything like that, right? I think only
No.
Sky has that. Okay.
No, it would only be an offhand attack. So I'm just gonna go ahead and disengage.
Okay.
Bonus action, and
And
that'll
move-
be it. In turn.
You want to move anywhere?
Yes, I'm gonna move under this table.
All right. The big bad guy is up. He's going to step forward.
I'll use my last. What is it?
Superiority die, sure.
Brace. I'm gonna use my. Well, never mind. I already rolled.
That will hit.
All right, so we'll do damage and then a superiority die.
Ooh.
18.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Yeah, come on, let's go, let's go.
So Mitch,
He's going
you can't see
to.
you can't see their hit bars. Not, I don't know if it matters or not.
Oh, you can't? My apologies. Let me fix that for you real quick. I thought I had
Nice.
switched. You were able to see them. My apologies.
Yeah, I don't. There we go.
And my hit bar also, I had gotten hit, and I subtracted my hit points down to 21, but the hit bar still says 27 full health.
I can see that it does say 21. It's just a
21.
situation where you just refresh your screen.
That's fine. Okay, cool.
He is going to make a check at disadvantage. So he is going to have disadvantage on his attacks against you, Sky, as you just pummeled him as he stepped forward right in the face. So he also has multi-attack, swinging at disadvantage, missing, just swinging wildly with a haymaker, catches you for 4 damage,
Oh,
and misses again.
all right. 1 for 1. I could take it.
And Reginald, you are up.
Ooh-wee. Well, we are going to start off with getting the heck out of where I'm at right now. I'm going to bonus action Zephyr Strike,
Okay.
if that would like to post. There we go. So my movement is increased by 30 foot, and my movement does not provoke opportunity attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to maneuver here. Actually, hold on. Yeah, I'm just going to scoot all the way over.
There you go.
And I would like to attempt to put an arrow in the leader of these folks.
Okay.
So that would be with advantage.
48 will hit.
Okay. So, first off, it's 4.
Plus the other 4 from Zephyr Strike, so 8.
Zephyr Strike is what, a D8?
Yeah. Oh, it rolled it when
Yeah.
you actually did that there, yeah.
It did?
Yeah, if you notice right above the spell description, it actually rolled the dice already for you.
Oh, fantastic. So, that's 8. And I'm going to attempt to use the power of my swarm to shove the leader into his
Okay.
other subordinate to the left, to the right here.
Now, when you're shoving, keep in mind you can shove. Go ahead and give me the ability first. I want to make sure that the ability is not different from the standard rule.
Yeah, it is right here for Gathered Swarm. The attack's target must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell or be moved by the swarm up to 15 feet.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. So what is your DC for the swarm?
DC for the swarm is going to be a 13.
Ooh. He may
He's
be
not
in a little
going
bit of
anywhere.
inebriated.
That's not the one that's text, right? No. Okay.
Anything else?
That'll do it.
If you want, you can actually also move another 5 feet.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Oh, wow. I could move another, 20 feet.
Yeah. And while you're doing that,
I'll
go
just
ahead.
swing down here for now.
Okay. The bad guys are back up. This guy's unconscious, snoring on the ground. This one is going to step forward to Stink. And then this one is going to step over to Ethelinda. Swinging at Stink first with the mace for 6 bludgeoning.
Yeah, I didn't have shield ready. Damn it. Darn it.
And then missing with the mace. The one on Ethelinda, 3 bludgeoning. And then missing with the mace again. Sky, you are up.
Okie dokie. So this dude in front of me is looking pretty rough. This guy's just gonna say, "Come on, you can't take much more. You really can't." I'm gonna attack him once for a 16 and 10, non-lethal.
Excellent.
Is he still up or is he wobbling?
He is still up, but he is definitely wobbling.
All right, and then with the hilt of my other sword, I'll just come across his jaw. Probably missing.
That will miss, yes.
Okay. You know what? Accent surge.
There we go.
Bum 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 bum. Boom, and then that just gives me 1 additional, so I'll come back again. I meant to say it, but I didn't do it again.
Well, yes. Any
All
movement? Do you want to maneuver around anywhere else?
Let's see, Charlie's kind of hovering there right next to me. I'll put myself.
Charlie is a tiny creature, so you can still occupy his space.
Okay, yeah, I'll go right there and kind of jostle the table, not really trying to do anything, just get this guy's attention.
Just make sure you're
Jostle
okay,
the
yeah.
table into him.
All right, Stink, you're up.
I am. Arm or something. All right. Is there something that I can catapult at this fool? Maybe on the bar over here, or maybe adjacent to me over here.
Stuff all over the bar. You can easily cast catapults.
I'm going to use my inspiration. Wait. That attack roll, or is that? No, you have to
Save
fail.
yours. Take my inspiration.
No, it's he's got to make the save, not me make the attack.
Oh, that's right.
I am going to cast the 2nd level.
I will note this though, because your character obviously would know. Us as players, we're only play every week. That if you cast a spell and this drops the person, they will die. It will not knock them unconscious.
He attacked me. I'm okay with that.
Okay, understandable.
Okay.
We're not on a Golden Vault mission at the moment.
I did mention that. Catapult at level 2.
Is this the one in front of you?
Yes, the one that attacked me.
Okay.
And he needs...
Dexterity saving throw. Attempting his
Dex
saving throw. You will succeed. So go ahead and let's see the spell description there. Go ahead and click on that. There we go.
So 48.
When the object strikes something, the object will
there's
strike.
half damage. Huh.
Make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. When the object hits something, the object and what it strikes takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage. Yes, there is no half damage.
Ah, stupid catapult. Okay.
So he dodges out of the way as the beer steins and stuff just slam into the wall.
Okay.
Anything else for Stink?
I think that is going to be it because I can't do a cantrip too, right? Not at this level.
Correct. The only way you can do a cantrip would be if you cast your spell, leveled spell was a bonus action. Then you could cast a second spell as a cantrip as long as it has one action as its casting time.
Okay.
All right. Around to Ethelinda.
Okay, Ethelinda will do this in the right order this time. Charlie will flit around this guy to give me the help.
Okay.
And then I will attack with my dagger. I did roll a concentration save.
Yes, I saw that.
And,
Great job.
And I made it. Okay, so let's see here.
Welcome in, Ulysses, in chat there. For those of you that have been watching, Ulysses played Aurora in our last sessions. 20 will strike true.
Excellent. Okay, so that's going to be that plus. Oops. That. Did that do that twice?
Yes, did. Unfortunately, it's not enough to knock them unconscious, but they're getting fairly close.
I do. It does 2 more fire damage. My genie. Thing.
That will be enough to drop him down to the ground unconscious with your melee attack from your dagger.
Excellent.
Any movement?
Am I boxed in here? What is that there?
That is a chimney from the fireplace right here.
Then she'll move out that way
Okay.
to there.
End of turn.
End of turn.
All right. Snaps, you're up. You see one guy, one of the thugs, just drop to the ground unconscious as you're hidden under the table. Well, not hidden, but you're under the table.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll take this opportunity as the table has been slid over. I'll go ahead and slide my short sword into this guy's body.
Go
As
ahead and
he's
move.
attacking my friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead and move over here if you would. There you go, perfect. Because that way, if you were still under the table, I was going to give you a disadvantage to your attacks because of the spacing. But there, you're fine to attack. And now you can actually use your free action to pull out your dagger, so you can make your main hand attack, and you can do an offhand attack as well.
Okay, awesome. I will do that.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Whew. 13, 15, 21 points. Wow.
Okay.
That's what we call a kidney shot.
No doubt.
And then offhand, I don't think I have it set up for offhand.
That's okay. We'll just subtract your dexterity from the attack roll.
Okay.
So that's -4. So that would be an 8. That's going to miss.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry. You don't add your dexterity to the damage roll. My apologies. So that is going to hit,
Okay.
as they only have an armor class of 11.
Okay.
So you do 4 points of damage, knocking him unconscious as well.
Out. Okay. And with that, I will look at him and just kind of casually spit on him, since he attacked my friend Stink, and turn around and step over here behind this guy in turn.
Probably going to be the least of the problems with the smelly sailor pirate that was attacking your companions. Definitely inebriated, too much, was not minding their P's and Q's. All right, so Snaps moves over there, and their pirate leader is up. He is going to drunkenly swing one attack with a scimitar at Sky, missing horribly. Seeing what he thinks is 2 Skies, but it's actually Snaps. He's going to swing at Snaps. Ooh, hitting for 7 slashing. If you want to uncanny dodge that, you can take it down to 3 points.
Okay.
And swings his dagger at Sky again. Ooh, hitting for 7.
That's my favorite shirt.
And Reginald, you are up.
I don't want to kill this person, so while I still have the lack of opportunity attacks, I'm going to speedily scoot up behind this fellow and just take a big swing with the flat of my short sword
Okay.
and
The
see if I
sleeping one?
can't. Yeah, the sleeping sword.
That's right here, right?
Yep,
What's up, yeah.
See if I can't give him a bap on the back of the head. Go to sleep.
I think you found the off switch.
Nice.
Yes.
For 10?
And yes, indeed, he had 10 hit points remaining.
Ha,
That does indeed drop him unconscious as well.
nice.
Nice one. That was sick. He wasn't even aware of it. You just came up and BAP!
Unconscious. You're able to easily step outside and call some of the city guard to come. And they do take the rowdy sailors into custody. And thank you for aiding, especially not killing them, of course, because I forgot to mention to Ethelinda and Sky, you should be able to check in your journals and find the code legal.
Oh, I'm really familiar with that legal.
Oh yeah. After putting the first arrow in that guy, I was like, no.
And your watching handouts folder should have, since we are running, for those watching, we are running most of our keys from the Golden Vault in the city of Waterdeep. So we're adding a little bit of extra stuff for them to have to get around somewhat while they're in Waterdeep. And the code legal, of course, since we are still on the combat screen, Otter, if you want to pop up the code legal to show some of the viewers some of the different things, different crimes, and all of that. Should be in our Waterdeep folder. You can also find it if you happen to have Waterdeep Dragon Heist. The code legal is in that hardcover as well. And also, I believe it might even be free up on the Dungeon Masters Guild if you don't happen to have that hardcover. Also.
Very cool.
And of course, Lift comes through, and you immediately see the ghost kind of materialize a little bit, starts cleaning up all of the debris and everything caused from the actions of the rowdy, drunken patrons. And Brayton does, of course, thank you, and settles everyone back down for the dinner crowd. And says all the drinks, he's going to buy a round of drinks on the house. For everyone. Of course, your meal will be taken care of. So you can go back upstairs if you wish to continue your planning.
Sounds
And
good to me.
decide, before the end of the session here, which we've got about maybe about 10 minutes left before I have any closing remarks and such. So everyone decide what plan you're going to start with, and then let us know what role, if you're going to choose a role to take heading into Revel's End next week, actually leaving Waterdeep and heading to the frozen north.
Okay. So a 1, a 2, a 3, or Which one do we go through? So, who's in favor of just going in on rolls and getting the imp to go and try to connect with her and go that route without
like going
get
to roll
information?
the first day or so.
Who all is in favor of that one?
Got 3 votes for there.
Okay.
For myself, if I had a vote, which I don't, I would definitely go with the Gnome Busters.
Yeah,
we,
okay,
still,
so
we still can though.
Of course you still can. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wednesday's plan.
yes.
Yes, you can always come back and fall back on that. As you know, you could, as your workers, you can of course head out, snaps and Stinkfoot, and come back in later on.
Or
as
I mean,
yourself.
we could instead of the gnomes going in under rolls, they could sneak in, right?
True.
Yeah.
They can still
The
do
three
that,
of
but
us
they-
go in as our roles. You guys find out what you can find out sneaking around, and then in that case, if we need to fall back on the gnome busters, you just magically show up the next day. Like
I like that idea too because it keeps their faces relatively, off the screen, so to speak.
right.
Nobody really
Mhm.
sees them.
While you're sneaking around, if you get caught, that might be bad.
That's a possibility.
If that does get happen and they do get caught, I think we just go with alternate plan F and hit the button and just take her. Be like,
Whilst we can.
yeah, no, we're leaving. We're collecting as a group, and you're coming with us. Sorry.
You don't know us, but you're coming with us.
Yes.
So now think about it. There's really 3 options. The prisoner might want to leave.
Yeah.
She also might not be what she wants. But then there's the third option. She might actively want to stay.
Yeah.
So
She fears for her life if she does leave
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't rely on her wanting to leave and helping us get her out, because she might actively not want that.
Yeah, I think it'd be probably the best idea to at least wait to determine what we want to do for our exit strategy until we find out what she wants. It's going to be like in my opinion, the biggest missing piece.
If it's just us leaving, it's easy. Or easier. If we have to figure out extracting a prisoner, that complicates things.
So for right now, the plan is to go in with Ethelinda as a cook and Sky as a guard. And Reginald, did you want to come in still as the healer, or did you want to actually come in as a cook or a guard yourself?
I'm real scrawny across the board. I don't think I match a guard too well. I have a plus 3 for medicine. I guess I can try and wing it as a barber.
Okay.
You got the actor feat, right? Was that you? Or
I
is
have
that
the
somebody
actor
else?
feat, and I have guidance.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
me hitting myself. You got this, buddy.
That's it.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
If you want to, Reginald, go ahead and explain to the viewers the reason why you picked up the acting feat.
So, for our viewers who may or may not have seen our previous episodes, I have a hat of disguise and a very low charisma, and have been put into quite a few scenarios or parts of plans where I'm disguised as someone else trying to get information, and my dice hate me.
It's been
So,
bad.
taking the actor feat would give me advantage on persuasion or performance and deception checks if I'm attempting to be someone else. The goal is to finally see double digits for a deception check. It'll happen. I believe it.
Oh no.
I'll give you a great advice there in the chat. Just scream about modern medicine and insult the intelligence of anyone that questions you.
Oh wow.
Oh,
nice.
man. And for you, Sky, I had an episode there. I had 5 natural ones in 6 rolls.
Oh my god.
For
not even
this exact
statistically possible.
purpose. It was
Crazy.
It was bad.
Crazy.
Oh, that's rough.
In 6 rolls, the highest I was able to manage was an 8, I think it was, and that was with guidance. It was bad.
Oh no. Oh no. Your dice are like, you don't deserve to lie.
Mm-hmm. You have a great plan. Let's see how that works out for you.
Dice are awful good.
Be awfully sad if that plan didn't work out now, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. It would have been real entertaining if it worked, but it was like, nope. 1, 2, 1, 4. Just bad.
Rip.
All right, so I'll
bad.
put in chat there in our Roll20 chat that Snap, Stinkfoot sticking up the supplies. Sky is going to go in as a guard. Ethelinda is going in as a cook. And Reginald is going in as a barber healer for the hospital. So that's everyone's roles going in. You do have a plan of attack to take a day, perhaps, to explore now that you'll actually physically be in Revel's End. And then have the option of deciding when you'd like to contact Prisoner 13 inside. You always have the option, again, as was mentioned by chat, of falling back on the idea of haunting the prison, bringing the 2 gnomes in that snuck in as kind of ghost hunters. And then kind of just, I guess, winging it after that, depending on what you got. You've got a few other extra ideas of escape, different kill switches in case you need them to get out, using the option of Charlie going into the surveillance and hitting the all alert and causing a bit of chaos.
Thank you for reminding me, chat. Because of our earlier conversations, do we want to acquire some kind of herbs or poisons if we want to go the route of tainting the food?
Does anyone have an herbalism kit or proficient with an herbalism kit?
No.
Or proficient with cooking supplies?
No.
And for the love of God, bring brown pants.
With my hat, I can have as many pairs of brown pants as I desire.
I'm wearing my brown pants today.
So does anyone skilled with nature? I believe our ranger is, right?
I am proficient in nature. Not a whole lot, but proficient.
Fair enough. Or survival. Nature or survival could work.
I am only slightly better at survival, but not proficient at it.
So there'll be a chance for you to pick up a few things at the beginning of the next session that you could use to, upset stomachs if you need to have Ethelinda put some stuff in food in the kitchens, and we can go from there for next week. So it sounds like we have a plan for your heist that next week we can put that plan into action.
Cool.
All right. What is coming to the end of the session? Thanks, everyone, for watching tonight. Tonight was part 1 of Prisoner 13. Yes, you can buy more arrows as well. Next week, we will have part 2 from 7 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern as well, right here on our Twitch channel. If you're not a member of our Discord community, you can click down below. You can click the About Us section. You should see the Discord panel. You can click on that. That will give you an invitation directly to our D&D Master of Dungeons community server. You can also click on the socials to find out to get access to our link tree, which will give you all of the links to all of our different social media platforms. If you would, we would definitely appreciate any likes, follows, subs on YouTube and such like that. We do put all of our streaming content from Twitch up onto YouTube on Mondays. I believe all of those go up at 3 p.m. Usually the week after they stream here on Twitch. Again, we do thank our patrons. We do thank everyone that has subbed to the channel. Thank you so much. And yes, we are very happy to be back as well. Again, thanks to Ash and Ryan. Great job this evening. Thank you so much. We'll see them again next week. And thanks everyone for watching. Does anyone have anything to add before we sign off for the night?
Stay groovy, friends.
Yes, yes. All
Good
right.
time.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see everyone next week. And take care and happy adventuring.